the rings are characters of their own that aren't going to show their hand immediately.
His ambition, I would say, as a quick answer. But also he's seduced by someone who impresses him so much at the end of season 1 in episode 8 in the Forge, where I believe that's where Sauron's spell is cast.
He is more determined and fixated on the end goal, I think, and any kind of rejection of this, like his pitch to Galadriel, I guess, has made him more focused, and that he'll stop at nothing to achieve this goal of this idea that he's had in his mind of a power not of the flesh but over flesh. And perhaps there was an element of distraction in that he liked the idea of the good, the light that Galadriel could bring to his idea for the world, because he probably knew he doesn't have the capacity for much good and light deep down. But I think it's a mistake he wouldn't make again. I think he doesn't have any desire to be good. He just has this desire to. He loves Middle Earth. Like he has an idea of a beautiful, picturesque Middle Earth. Tolkien was very specific about that, and I think any good. It's not like he puts the label good on it. I think his intention is to heal Middle Earth, and everything comes from that.
It's power, and it's other things too. As you'll see as the season goes on, it becomes very muddied in his mind. But ultimately, the pursuit of, Tolkien was always hugely wary of pursuit of any kind of power, and wary of ambition and of industry, and which is why he criticizes the elves very obliquely occasionally, talking about they're overdoing it with their machinery and developing all that stuff. So yes is the answer, but there is other stuff at play also. Every scene, I have to say, that we played together was a gem, because there's always something at the core of it that's meaty to play, and we had a really good time shooting it.
There is that scene which you get a glimpse of in the trailer, which I guess we can talk about a bit, and which is the beginning of Celebrimbor, when you're right in the meat of him starting to crack, and the pressure being applied to complete a certain task.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder what that task could be.
No idea.
What could it be? Is it in the title of the show?
I don't know. So that's the thing. It's like you can, based off the last trailer, you see an element of their relationship, but there is a lot more kind of. They are as one throughout a lot of the season, which we don't see so much in the promotional material so far.
Yeah.
Reverence, no. I think there's a deep scar left from the interaction and time with Sauron for both of them in their different ways, probably.
Yeah.
And that is the only thing that they have in common as characters, which we might need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a reverence. I think there's... I feel... The way I kind of understand it is that, like, Galadriel has... It would be like if you had, like, the most intense type of synesthesia, and then you met someone else who had, like, the same type of it. And then you find out they're the worst person in the world. But you can't undo that feeling of what it was to kind of...
Be connected.
Be, understood and connected in that way.
Well, that's a tricky question. I mean, I think there's certainly not an idea that you think, let's just put all of our differences aside and just team
Yeah.
up. It's not really like that. It's a very kind of tentative. Do we trust each other or do we not? And just kind of keeping something back to, there's a one-upmanship there, and I think there's a sort of there's a respect from Adar towards Galadriel, mostly because she's an elf and Adar was an elf and wants to be treated with the same respect as an elf would be treated, I think. So that's an interesting thing to play.
Yeah.
But for you?
I think that something that she's kind of becoming more connected to, as she's kind of managing to kind of see more than just the terrible despair and grief that she was feeling in season 1, is that everything is fascinating. And no matter how she feels about Adar, there's something fascinating about how he exists and how he got there. And that everything is kind of worth learning from. Whereas I think in season 1, he was just very two-dimensional to her. The rings are characters of their own that aren't going to show their hand immediately. And the elves have made something that, not even looking at whether they're good or bad, they are uncontrollable, and they will do as they please. And that's kind of quite a fascinating thing for an elf to kind of experience, is that you have this relationship with something that you cannot predict.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
know what its power fully
Yeah.
is. I don't think he's interested in either redemption or kind of damnation, but he's just there to protect his children, and that's it. I don't think he would even bother being. I think he wouldn't care if he was alive or dead if it wasn't for the duty he has to protect these orcs who would otherwise be wiped out or enslaved or treated, horribly. So he's a good. I think he's a good character, even though it doesn't sort of manifest as bad. But I don't think he's. I don't think he is evil, even though he's been shaped by evil. Yeah.
She was obsessed with the idea of the villain and the badness before, and now she's realized that being kind of that is a poison to her. And so I think she wants to protect and love and hope, and she's realized that's the only weapon she has against Sauron. And I think that is maddening to him. Hope so, anyway. Yeah.